All right, March leadership, my final video, and this is kind of is the sum of all things here, and it's what I class as strategic decision making, and it is one of the most difficult things because basically, you take all the other tactics or methods that you're using. But before you really even use those, is you need to understand what is the strategic mission. What is the goal? What is the outcome? I say this all the time that really people don't even recognize this, but they want predictable outcomes. Who wouldn't, right? Do you want to just, whoa, bam, let's just put it all on red and roll the wheel? Most people don't want to do that, and it certainly isn't going to work. You won't get to play very long if you do that too often. So, we have to focus on, setting ourselves up so that we're able to make sound decisions consecutively or systematically, or really, our wins have to definitely outweigh our losses, and somehow be able to track that and to know that. So we've got to, some components of that I would say would be, number one, assessing risk. Let's say that we have to, we need to make a leadership call, and we need to let go of our main guy that handles a very major component for our company. All right, so we're going to look at that. How do we do that? Is it justified? Have we ran through all the methods by which we could turn that ship? I'm going to give a positive and a negative. I started with a negative. So have we done everything that we could do to turn that ship? Is our conscience clear that, we just literally have the wrong guy? But the other side on that particular situation is that they have key institutional knowledge and no one else has it within the company. So how do you strategically walk that path? Another one is, let's say that you have somebody that is just crushing it, over performing, and you want to put them into a key role, but they may not really have the skill set. They call it the Peter factor, where you rise to the level of where you peter out. So you need to be strategic in how do you backfill their position? How do you communicate with them that, how this is a new position, you haven't done it? How do you communicate your concerns on measurement, and how could you basically back out of that deal if basically they've risen to their highest level of capability? Some other things are really gathering input from other stakeholders, from direct managers or teammates who work directly alongside that person, or even possibly from outside sources. I really believe that it takes a team to be a leader. And I'm talking about from a standpoint of maybe a peer group or somebody that you can vet your ideas on, that have walked those steps and that can give you good, solid counsel. A lot of times, we pick people who maybe aren't the best, who misery loves company, right? You start giving off some miserable story, and they're like, well, I do this and I do that, and really they're not strategic plans that are gonna take you where you need to go. So you got to be careful of that for sure. And then you got to balance the short-term goal and the long-term vision. These are very tricky sometimes, because we could solve something on a short run that could cause us a bigger problem in the long run. We may elevate that person too quickly, or we may do a quick fire and a quick hire to try to fix a temporary problem that's really not even going to be around for long. So we've got to think short game and long game about the decisions that we make. That's why, again, I really like having some guys around that I can pick up the phone or go have lunch with, and kind of lay out my options as I see them, list the pros and cons and the challenges, and get good counsel, because that is something that's going to take you a really long way. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope this is helpful to you guys, because that's really the point in which I want to be. I want to be helpful to folks, as well as it helps me in order to express my ideas so that they become more real in the things that I'm doing. If you ever have questions or things, I'd love to have a conversation. Reach out.